welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a walk through the gaslit streets of Edgar Allan Poe's London to try and solve a mystery. But here's the thing. This isn't your typical whodunit. We're not looking for a culprit. No, our mystery is about a man who is himself a walking crime scene, a living puzzle. And the solution? It's terrifyingly simple. He can never, ever be alone.
So Poe kicks things off with this really chilling idea, right? He's basically setting the stage for a mystery that you can't solve, that defies any kind of investigation. It kind of suggests that the deepest, darkest secrets aren't the ones we dig up and uncover. No, they're the ones people are forced to live with every single day, forever. And that's the world we're about to step into.
Okay, so our story begins through the eyes of this one guy. We don't even get his name. He's just recovering from some illness, sitting in a London coffee house, looking out the window. But, his sickness has had this weird side effect. It's left him with this almost superhuman clarity, this super heightened awareness of everything going on around him. Yeah, his senses are just electric. He's in what Poe calls a mood of keenest appetency. He's so tuned in that even breathing feels good. And as day starts turning into night, he gets completely mesmerized by this tumultuous sea of human heads just flowing past his window. You've got to understand, he's not just people watching here. He's sitting in that armchair and he's trying to dissect the very soul of the city. So at first, the crowd is just this big, blurry thing. It's like one single anonymous organism. But then that super sharp, analytical mind of his starts to kick in. He starts to focus, and he actually begins sorting the individuals passing by, classifying them with the precision of a scientist studying specimens. And it is absolutely fascinating how he can basically read a person's entire life story just from their clothes. Like, he sees the ambition in these junior clerks, right? They've got the tight coats, the shiny boots. They're trying to copy the rich folk. And then he contrasts that with the upper clerks. They're all comfortable coats, practical shoes, a little stuffy maybe. Their entire social status is right there, exposed, just by their choice of coat and shoes. And of course, as the respectable citizens head home for the night, the city's underbelly starts to crawl out, and our narrator sees them all. The slick pickpockets, the gamblers with their worn-out faces, folks who live by their wits, professional beggars, the really sick and destitute. I mean, the list goes on. It's this haunting parade of city life, and every single one of them has their own story of survival. All right, so just as the gas lamps start to flicker on, casting what Poe calls this fitful and garish luster across the street, everything changes. The narrator's calm, scientific analysis is suddenly completely shattered. One face in the crowd changes everything. The face belongs to this frail, decrepit old man, but his expression? It's just a bizarre contradiction. I mean, the narrator sees all these things at once. Vast mental power, but also malice, bloodthirstiness, but then underneath it all, this intense, supreme despair. It's an impossible mix of feelings, right? It's something the narrator has never, ever seen before, and he is just instantly captivated. And that one question, who is this man? It becomes a total obsession. A craving desire to know more of him just completely consumes our narrator. See, he can't just categorize this guy and file him away. This one has broken his whole system. So he throws on his coat, ditches the safety of his window, and plunges right into the street to follow him. The observation part is over. Now, the hunt has begun. And this pursuit, well, it's going to drag our narrator through every part of London you can imagine, from the glittering shops all the way down to the darkest, dirtiest slums. And through this whole long night, the old man's really singular, really bizarre compulsion, it becomes frighteningly clear. So the man's behavior starts to follow this really disturbing pattern. Whenever the crowds thin out, he gets all agitated and starts rushing around. But when he's deep in a dense crowd, he becomes calm, almost peaceful. It becomes obvious he's not actually trying to get anywhere. He just needs to be in the crowd. It's almost like he feeds on its energy, on its anonymity. And the contradictions just keep piling up. I mean, this guy is a walking paradox. He's dressed in these filthy, ragged clothes that scream poverty, And yet underneath them, the narrator glimpses a diamond, hinting at some kind of lost wealth. And not only that, he also spots a dagger, a clear sign of violence. So who is this person? He seems to be both a ghost of some wealthy past and a very real present danger. So, after a full 24 hours, a whole day and night, this relentless chase finally comes to an end. And where does it end? Right back at the coffee house where it all began. Our narrator is totally exhausted, but he finally confronts the object of his obsession, only to have this profound and really, really unsettling realization. The narrator steps forward. He stands directly in the old man's path, looks him square in the face, and nothing. After being followed for an entire day and night, the old man doesn't even see him. He's completely lost in his own world, his own compulsion. And our narrator realizes the chase was entirely one-sided. He was never even a factor. And that's when it all clicks. The narrator finally understands. This old man's specific identity, his name, his story, none of it matters. He is, as Poe writes, the type and the genius of deep crime. He's the embodiment of a secret so terrible that he simply cannot bear to be alone with his own thoughts. His punishment isn't a jail cell. It's to forever seek the noise of the crowd, just to escape the deafening silence inside his own head. So he just gives up. He realizes it's in vain to follow, because he's never going to learn anything more about this man or what he did. This guy is exactly like that book mentioned at the very beginning of the story, a book that does not permit itself to be read. Whatever secret he's carrying is locked away forever, totally beyond the reach of anyone trying to look in. And that is the truly unsettling question that Poe leaves hanging in the air. What kind of horror makes being alone completely unbearable? It's not about who the man is. It's about the terrifying idea that a guilt can be so immense, so soul-crushing, that the only possible escape is to just dissolve into the faceless sea of humanity. It's a really powerful thought on anonymity, the secrets we all carry, and the horrors that can hide in plain sight.